So moving on with this other videos is dealing a little bit more with some of the different functions that we have available in this module. So this time let's load a data which is a little noisy, and so in this folder here I have a set of data which have been measured, so it's just time versus temperature. But the number of points here is in this file 10,240, and as you see here there is a fair amount of noise all around the time range that have been measured. And so what we want is, for instance, measure the peak temperature fairly accurately. That is just like applying some sort of smoothing algorithm to this set of data. So there is two different ways to do that. First way would be, so if I unzoom now, the first way would be to apply what we call an adjacent averaging function. So by clicking on here, you have just to select how much you want, what's the window size for this adjacent averaging function. So if we just keep the default value of 8, we update, and you see here, let's just have a look now at the peak temperature. It's much less noisy, right? So if we want it to be even more like accurate, we could simply increase this a little bit more, and you see here this is improving the quality of the fit. So if I now come back, so let's plot XY, so we cancel this smooth, I come back to this noisy data. And the second way to do that would be to apply what we call an interpolation function. So if you click on interpolate, you've got here different ways to interpolate a function. So those available from the software GNUplot. So it could be S-spline, C-spline, Bezier, and S-Bezier. So if we just keep the first one as default, we just have to then select the number of points that we want to give to this interpolation. So maybe 1000 is going to be enough. So it will transform this 10,000 point into 1000 point. And so we click on update plot. And so here again, it is processing the request. And so depending on the calculation and the number of data points, this may take a couple of seconds to maybe 1-2 minutes maybe. So here the calculation is done. We don't see for a moment the data, but it's just because the points are very small. So let's just increase this a little bit, and you should then be able to see here the green line. So if we unzoom, you see we've got now a very fair approximation on the curve for all the range of data. So that's the two ways to smooth data. You would have adjacent average or interpolate function. So that's it for this video on cleaning data which are noisy.